So on today's episode, we're gonna go ahead and start the demolition of this tiny, tiny, tiny bathroom. I'm in not an RV, I'm actually in a master bathroom, and this is a 30-inch shower. Another aspect of this that's crazy, being such a small bathroom, you can see these two doors are actually hitting each other. So you have to like close one door fully to get the shower, and it's just awkward. What we're gonna do first is get the doors and the glass out so that we can perform the rest of the demo. Got all the screws out, but now it's actually stuck in by the paint. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of open this up a little bit. Now you should be able to get it out. We're gonna go ahead and take the glass door off of the shower frame. First thing I'm gonna do is cut into the old caulking. Now that we've got the caulking cut back, we can go ahead and start removing the screws. I'm actually going to start at the bottom so the thing doesn't fall out on me. And there's actually a secondary piece here for the door sill. So I'm going to take that off real quick. As you can see, there's really no working room in here at all. Imagine trying to take a shower in here. So this thing should come off. And now we can see the screws back here we need to get to. This type of bit extender isn't going to work for me. Let me switch that out. First thing we're going to do is get this out of my way because it takes up half of the shower and it's just a shower head. Should just unscrew here at the top. Get this out of my way. The valve has this little cover that snaps in place. Take that off, and that exposes a screw back there. Unscrew that, and the whole thing comes right off. Next, we're going to take off this escutcheon. 2 screws. Now we have the valve exposed. We can see behind the fiberglass. We can see what's going on with our plumbing. You should always turn off the water to your service, or at least to this area, before you get started cutting into anything. Otherwise, you could have water burst and flood your house. So make sure to do that before you get started. Up here, it has another escutcheon. And if you want, you can use a scraper to pull this off or whatever. We're not going to be reusing any of these parts. We're going to replace with all new parts. So I'm just going to use the channel locks or pliers directly on here. But if I was reusing this, I'd either wrap this in tape or I'd wrap these in tape and something like a towel to protect it. But anyway, in our case, since we're taking it out, you just... Well, we got most of the stuff out of our way here. We've got the doors out of the way. We've got the hardware out of the way as much as we can. The next steps are going to be actually cutting out the fiberglass shower enclosure. We're just going to cut it down with a Sawzall is what we're going to do. These have a flange that go up about 1 inch or 2 above the shower. That's how they're held in, just right along here. So if we wanted to, we could cut the drywall out and expose those. There's a lot of different ways to take these out. Since this is going to be a full gut and redo, I don't care about the drywall, I don't care about anything in here, so I can do a lot more damage. But if you're trying to limit the amount of work, just don't cut too much out and just cut it out first, otherwise you'll have a really hard edge to fill in. When you do this, you should definitely be wearing a mask. You want to fold the nose bridge down and then fold these 2 little tabs out. So it kind of covers the shape of your nose, and put it on over your head. Then to protect your eyeballs so you look totally ridiculous while doing this, you put on these ski mask looking things. And now we can get back to work. Okay. It keeps coming out because I'm trying to really make sure I'm not cutting too deep. So that's why it looks a little ridiculous, but you don't want to be in there too deep and then you accidentally cut electrical or plumbing or something else. So that's why you want to keep it out a little bit. That's fun. So in the corners and in the middle here, you have all the studs. So this is a big stud pack. You probably have a bunch of studs here and here. So it'll kick your blade out because you're obviously not going to cut through the, well, you don't want to cut through the 2x4. So and cut off the tip here. And cut off the tip here. Grab a flat bar or a pry bar or anything to kind of get this drywall out. It's always better to use a crowbar or a flat bar than this little scraper, but it's what I had with me. And then you can just pull this out. If you want to make your life easier, you'd cut all this caulk out first. But apparently I didn't want my life to be easy. The drywall is going to be nailed in or screwed in at these studs. So if you recall, right here we had a stud, here we have a stud, here, and sure enough we have a nail right there. That's what was causing it to be a little more difficult to pull out. You see this right here is actually the fiberglass top of the shower. So once we take this nail out and take out the rest here, we'll be able to see how it's screwed in. Let's get all that out real quick. Oops. So again, you see how I pried against the open wall. And if you wanted to preserve this, that would be a problem. That would have cost you a lot of time. I thought I was on top of the stud, but I missed. It's over here. This is a 240 volt wall heater. So again, we really want to make sure that we don't cut too deep. On this side, since we're so close to the edge, it might be easier and quicker just to pull it off the metal rather than screwing around with trying to cut it out. Yeah, so no surprise there. The shower leaked and rusted out this metal really badly. I'd be surprised if we find some mold behind here. Yep. Now we have the whole edge exposed, so now we can start taking out the nails that hold the fiberglass in. So now that we got that all out, this little bit of the top frame still needs to be cut. But I can see in there a little bit better and know that I'm not going to hit anything. So let's get this back panel off. Let's get this drain out of here. So it looks like this piece might be glued onto the pipe there. So we're going to have to cut that off or figure out a way to get this out. So at least now that's out of my way, we can pull the pan out. And the reason why I took that out first, these nails are a little harder to get to. You pry it off this way, and then they're easier to get to now again. One last screw at the bottom, take it out with a pan. Ta-da! We've got a mouse or rat's nest inside of the shower pan, which is probably part of what we were smelling over the years back here. This property happens to be up in the woods, so it's not uncommon to find rodents and other things hidden in your walls, which is one of the other reasons why we've decided to just do a full gut remodel in this bathroom. Plus, it's so small. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button below.